Hey, what up, Patreon peoples? It's your boy g.yee. Welcome to my Patreon tutorial series, where I show you guys basically how to make a rap song, or how I make a rap song. Very key difference, not how to make a rap song. How g.yee makes a rap song. And from start to finish, I'm going to be writing, recording, editing, and everything in between right here for all of y'all to see. I'm so excited to share this with you guys because not only is this my first tutorial ever, but it's the first song ever that I'm making that's really like branching off into the general music scene, not just Pokemon rap, not just nerd rap, but I'm just kind of making a rap. And I really want to pursue rap this year, and all of your pledges and support on Patreon is what is enabling me to have the funds to hop on iTunes, to buy a beat and get the rights so that I can go on Spotify and this, that, and the other. So thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. And I hope that this tutorial in some way can give you guys back a fraction of what you've given to me, because it means so much to me, it really does. So we're going to make a rap song. It's going to be dope, and it's going to be iconic for my career because this is the first time a lot of people are going to be hearing me. This is the first rap where I can just walk up to my friend that I've known for a long time and be like, yo, listen to this, I think you'll like it. Because I can't give them a rap where I'm like, hey, my name's Young Charmander, spit that bar banger. It's like they're gonna be like, what's a Charmander? What are you talking about, man? And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like, this is a huge step for me to take, and I'm excited to take it with you guys. And I thought it would be a great opportunity to do this tutorial on a meaningful song. So how do I make a rap song? Step one is the idea. So what is our idea here? By the way, normally I handwrite everything or I just do it in my head. I don't really do digital stuff a lot. But I figured this would be the best way to make a video because it's very clear and my handwriting is terrible, and also my camera's pretty bad. It turns off after like 5 minutes of recording, so this was the best way I could do it. So if I stumble, it's because I actually don't really do this method, but this is like just another representation of how I do it. So first I make the idea, which means like, what do you want to be rapping about? And I think that's a really important, like, very obvious thing that a lot of people don't think about when they write a song. Initially, you need an idea 90% of the time. 10% of the time you can just rap about whatever and it's cool, but most songs kind of need a purpose, even if the purpose is stupid, like, yo, look at my shiny car. That's an idea. And people have ideas. Even Soldier Boy and Pitbull have an idea before they do the song, so make sure you do too. So what I'm going to say is that this is going to be like kind of g.yee's introduction to the music world. Like, I want to introduce myself and be like, yo, this is what I'm about. And I really need a song where people can take me seriously and hear that and be like, ooh, I mess with this guy. He's nice. He got bars, man. Instead of just listening to myself and being like, what is he talking about? Oh, I didn't play these video games. So, but at the same time, so I want this to be generally appealing, but at the same time, I'm not a fake. I'm not going to pretend to be someone I'm not. I'm not going to vanilla myself down to just every other rapper where I'm talking about money, talking about liquor, talking about drugs, talking about girls, talking about, did I say money? Money, parties, females. Although I do rap about those a lot because I think I like to rap about them. I don't want this song to be about that. I want this song to show how I'm unique. And I think from a rap perspective, I am a very unique individual. So I'm going to say stay true to nerd roots. So I might not be getting my Pokemon bars out, but I might, reference that I played Nintendo. Because Nintendo, compared to Lickitung, everyone knows Nintendo. If you got a bar that's like, yo, I'm green, like the A button on a N64 controller, people will know what you're talking about. If you say, yo, I'm red, like the dot on the eye of a Relicanth, only Pokemon people will know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about here. So I'm going to stay true to my nerd roots, try to work some of that in, and definitely not try to come off harder than I am. That's the key here. This song is going to be 100% authentic because I feel like that's one of the strengths of my character, is just that I'm very comfortable being myself, and I don't have to pretend to be someone that I'm not. I found a way, just like Shofu and many others have in this rap scene, to make nerdy stuff cool. I really think that I did, and I'm gonna keep making it cool on a more broad spectrum. So those are my two ideas. Make it more generally appealing, but stay true to my nerd roots. And bam, you have a song. It's gonna be my intro to the music world. I'm gonna be more general. This is gonna be a song where I'm just rapping about things that people get, but I'm not gonna change who I am, and I'm gonna stay true to my nerd roots. Maybe reference a couple basic nerdy things here and there. So that's the idea. So from the idea, you can now say, okay, so what's the feeling? After you got the idea, the feeling is important because that's going to dictate the style of the raps, the sound of the beat, the voice that you want to, maybe you want to come off like this, or maybe you just want to rap and be really chill and be like, hey, I'm chilling with the homies in the group. I don't know, but you know what I'm saying? Like, there's different ways to rap depending on the feeling of the rap. So is this going to be a hype rap? I'm going to say no. Is it going to be a trap banger? I'm gonna say no. Like, I don't want to be like, yo, I'm g.yee and I'm a nerd. Nah, 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 nah. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't seem right to me. The feeling that I'm getting that I want to portray to people on this particular song is kind of like old school. I already can hear this going really well with the old school beat. Something that's not too flashy, because I'm not a really flashy individual. I let my bars and my lyricism speak for me, compared to a rapper like, say, I don't want to name drop and diss anybody, but compared to a rapper that maybe uses his flow to compensate for the lack of lyricism, just makes creative noises, this, that, and the other. I'm sure you can picture many rappers that I'm talking about. Not like those guys, I never will be. That's something that you can't teach. If you don't have it, and I don't really have it, then you just don't have it. So I can't be like Lil Yachty. I can't, oops, I said I wasn't going to name drop. I can't be like these guys that make cool noises that are cool to listen to. So I got to get off with my bars. And you're here, you already know these things, but I'm just saying it. So old school, I'm going to aim for a more raw beat, not flashy. And I don't want it to be too upbeat either, because, you know, the way that the ideas that I have here are pretty serious ideas, so I don't want it to be super carefree. I don't want it to be too light. At the same time, I don't want it to be too aggressive, like I'm trying to fight people, because this is just me kind of trying to say, yo, I'm nice and I'm hard. Not, yo, I'm nice and I'm your enemy. I don't like anyone. Like, that's not how I want to come off either. So not too aggressive. And not a banger. So these are just kind of overall feelings that I'm getting for this song. Once you have the feeling, it's time to find a beat. So that's what I'm going to be doing here. Show you guys a couple ways that I find beats. I guess I was doing something before. This is a perfect example, actually. So I had aggressive type beat. This is as simple as it gets. If I was looking for an angry song, I would just type in aggressive type beat and look at all these hits you get up. Let's pull up this one because this dude looks mean. Okay, that's not really I don't agree with the titling of this, but it doesn't really matter because we don't want an aggressive beat anyway. But I'm just showing you guys an example of how you can find a beat. So maybe this one will be a little more aggressive. I don't really like this one either. But surprisingly, this producer, oh my god, this is crazy. This producer made the beat that I picked for this song. So I'm going to click on him. I honestly did not plan that out at all. That is insane. And once you find a beat that you like, even if it doesn't fit the theme of your song, but you're like, yo, this is a high quality beat, you always want to drop what you're doing because you don't want to lose this producer forever. You want to remember them. So, yo, Syndrome's dope. So I'm going to hop on his main YouTube channel. I'm going to click on this. They always have something. You can go to About too if you don't really know what those buttons are about. And down here in links, they always have something that says Buy Beats. If they're worth your time, they're going to have something that says Buy Beats. And then you can click there, buy the beats. Most of these songs are always the same. And they'll have a little, basically, cart full of every beat they've ever made for you to buy for reasonable prices, unless you want exclusives, which are $200 and upwards, which is what you need if you want to produce a song and then no one else can ever use that beat again. But if you don't want an exclusive, you just want to maybe get a non-exclusive where you can sell it to 2,000 of the song, which is fine for people like me and you that don't have a huge following yet. Normally non-exclusives are less than $50. So these guys are 15 for most of them. So you might hop on this one, Revenge. That sounds mean.
myflashstore.net.
Yeah, I knew as soon as I saw R&B that this wasn't going to be for me, but you know what I mean. There are so many talented artists out there. And then what I would do is just click this link up here, bookmark him, maybe write a couple notes like, yo, Syndrome, okay, he has kind of slower tempo, serious songs. Bam, done. Just make a document, because finding beats is so hard, man. If you just have an archive of like 50 producers that you like their stuff, then you can always keep going between them and say, yo, I want a beat like this, I'll go there. But if not, you can just hop on YouTube, and maybe you don't want an aggressive beat. Maybe you want an upbeat type of beat. These are key words that are important to know. Like, you need to know these descriptors. Aggressive is a good one. Upbeat, rap instrumental is a good. Upbeat is a good one if you want to make something where you're like giving an uplifting message, and you want to be like, yo, life's not so bad, this, that. Then you might want to be like this. Ooh. Yeah.
Layered music.
Dog, this guy is nice. That was a really nice intro and beat drop. So I might click on his and then go to his music store. Bookmark that, right? Very nice beat drops. Awesome, complex, upbeat type style. Done. And then if I'm looking for something like that in the future, I'll go back to Layered. So that's the main tools that I use to find a beat, and not only find a beat, but while I'm finding beats, I archive my producers so that the next time I gotta go find a beat, it's even easier because I already have a kind of catalog or library of people that make beats at my disposal. There's so many talented people just on YouTube that's really all you have to do. But if you want to do something else, you might go to SoundClick is another good website. I guess I was already looking at a kind of SoundClick too, and go to Beats Instrumentals, any of these, but Beats General is normally a pretty good bet. And look, there's 25 on a page for 296 pages of just beats. And if you hear someone you like, same as the other one, click on the artist, explore some of his stuff, so on and so forth. So my 3 favorite places to discover beat makers are YouTube, SoundClick, and SoundCloud, probably in that order. I spend most of my time on YouTube because once you find someone's channel that you really like, you might find 5 songs right there that you can make with that guy. So, like I said, I found my guy from the Syndrome dude right here, which is really hilarious. I don't remember what the name of the song is, but I definitely know that Syndrome produced it, and I have it right here. So this is the song, the beat rather, that I picked, and then you can start writing, and writing is going to be the next part of my tutorial, so I don't want to hop into that. But before you start writing anything, you definitely want to map the beat. Mapping the beat is definitely the next step after you pick a beat. So I got the idea, I got the feeling. Okay, you pick the beat. Sweet. Now it's time to map it out, because before you start writing, it's always important to know how the song is ending, how the song is starting, what is in between. Is there a hook? Is there some interlude type of talking stuff? Is there a bridge? Are there 2 verses? Are there 3 verses? Do I want to cut one of the verses out? Do I want to extend the song, copy paste part of it to make a 3rd verse and a 3rd hook? All these are opportunities, or all these are possibilities, but you won't know until you hear the beat. So let's play the beat. So as you can hear right here, for the first 20 seconds or so, is you got some strings. So I always put timestamps. So now we're mapping the beat. Mapping the beat is very important if you want to make a song that's cohesive. So from 0 seconds to 0:20 seconds, we'll say, is a kind of strings intro type of thing where I want to be talking about what I'm going to be doing. So right here I'll write maybe give some background on what I'm doing. And that's that. So I know already how the song starts, what the first 20 seconds are going to be like. And then from 21, the beat drops. So this is going to be the first verse, I'm assuming. So let's rewind a couple seconds and play it back. And as I do this, I count the bars too. So what I'll do with you guys is, I don't normally do this visually. I normally just do it in my head and keep a note, but I'll write it out for you guys too. So I'll put an X every time I hear one bar. 2, 3, 4. Next. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next. Okay. So hear how those little bells came in? That's the audio cue for, okay, it's time to do something with a melody to it. Okay, it's probably time to make a chorus. So right here on this, I'm going to note, okay, it's only 8 bars, short, intro. This is a perfect setup because normally a full verse is 16 bars. So this verse is perfectly structured to do an intro. And I already am formulating in my mind, okay, from 0 to 20, I'm going to be talking. And from 21 to 45, we'll say, 21 to 45, I got the bars. So this is the first bar that anyone's ever going to hear, and it only lasts for 8. So I know I can do something really crazy, because if you want to rhyme the whole time for one verse, normally you need 16 words that rhyme. Here I would only need 8. So that's a possibility in my mind already. And then let's listen to this chorus and see how long these bells go on for. 2. Okay. Okay, so I know this seems very tedious, but when you come to the next tutorial, I'm going to save this document and we're going to use it. And all of these bar counters are going to be so important for when we write this song. And actually, I'm going to expand them and blow them out into every single syllable within those bars to make sure that every word I'm rapping about has a purpose within the song. So that's the chorus. It's also going to be 8 bars. So I'm thinking probably I want 4 bars that repeat, because choruses, if you kind of have 8 different bars in a chorus, the point of a chorus is to be catchy, simple, and not overwhelm the person listening to it, because the verses that I construct are very, very complex, and they have enough stuff to think about where it's important to have a very simple chorus in between so they don't have to think about too much and they can kind of recover and let their brain rest a little bit. That's the purpose of this chorus. Also, choruses are very important when you're picking a beat. This is the reason that I picked this beat. The second I heard this chorus already in my head, I could hear the words and the way that I wanted to say them. If you hear the chorus on a beat and you're like, oh shoot, that's kind of weird, I don't know what I'm going to say there, and you sit down and it takes you more than half an hour to think of the melody and the way you want to say it and or sing it, I would not recommend picking that beat, because the point of a chorus is it should be intuitive. It should come to you naturally. It should sound good. It should be catchy. And it's not something you can really teach. You just kind of have to hear it and be like, oh, this is how I'm going to sing on this one, and it's going to sound good. And as soon as I heard those bells come in on this beat, I was like, yep, this is the beat. Because there's nothing really special, flashy, super nice about this beat. It's just a really cool melody, very distinct, and I heard an awesome harmony that I could say in my head, which I'm going to be going over with you guys next tutorial when I talk about how to write. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to pick that beat. So that's what the chorus is. And I think it goes, well, we'll see. Okay, so right there, the chorus ends. So I'm going to do one more because I think this next verse is going to be a full-length verse, and then I'll just fill in the rest so that this video is not a million minutes long, and I'll pause it and I'll come back. 2, 3, 4. Next stanza. 1, 2. So hear how the strings come in? I'm going to make a note of that. On second stanza, strings come in. And it kind of starts to sound more cold. By the way, I don't know if I'm using the correct terminology, but 1 bar obviously is what I'm breaking down for you guys. A verse is a collection of either 16, normally 16 bars, and then a stanza is what I call splitting that 16 group of bars into 4 groups of bars. So every standard verse will have 4 stanzas. So on the second stanza, I hear some strings coming in. Here it is. See, and you got the triangle chime type of thing in the background. So here I think something really cool. I could definitely play off of this and get the mood for that. And then 2, 3, 4. That's the third stanza. Here's the fourth one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm expecting the chorus to come in. See right there. 147. So at 147, the next chorus comes in. So that means from 105 to about 146 is this group of 4, 4, 4, 4 with an emphasis. I guess I'll use color to visualize what I'm saying. I'll give it a light blue because that's kind of how it feels. Emphasis on that second one because it kind of sounds a little chilly to me when it has those strings coming. I like that. It makes the whole verse more complex when it's not just 4 of the same stanzas over and over again. So I'm definitely going to play into that when I'm writing. And now I'm expecting this chorus to just be more of the same. So the first chorus was 20 seconds on the dot, so I would expect this one to be done in 20 seconds, and so on and so forth. I'm going to pause this and fill out the rest of this map for you guys. The song's only halfway done, so this will take me a little bit, but I'll be back in 1 second. Alright guys, I'm back. So as you can see, I filled this out. There are 3 choruses, 2 verses, and then this half verse intro. There's also the strings intro, and now I'm at 3:12 at the end of the chorus, and this is how the song is going to end, so I figured I would record this part because it's a little different. So it's starting the same way that the verses start. Here's the strings on the second stanza. Here comes the third stanza, or we would expect it. But there's nothing. So it's an identical copy. We'll say 330 to, what was that? 335. 335. So the song's going to be 3.5 minutes. Is another verse. We'll say outro. And it was 4 and 4. And we'll make this 4 the same as that 4 so that we can remember that it had the same style as the last one. And we'll say strings on last stanza, then cut out. So I don't know if I want to rap over that outro yet, or if I'll just leave it with nothing, or I might want to talk over it, or I might want to put a sound bite of someone else talking. All of these are possibilities, but it's important to know when you're mapping the beat out. So oh my god, this is half an hour. So as you can see, this is a very complicated process. I haven't wrote a single bar yet, and I've basically been here talking to you guys for 25 odd minutes, and I even paused the video for a little bit there, so probably even longer I've been talking to myself for. Just to review, start with an idea. Use that to get the feeling of the song. Use those things together to pick the beat that you want. And then once you pick the beat, before you start writing, map out what you're going to do. And then you'll be ready to start writing. Now, what we're going to do next is revisit the idea and the feeling to pick a central theme for the song and incorporate that into these 3 choruses here. Because the choruses should reflect the theme of a song. Of a well-structured song, the first thing I always write is the chorus, because the chorus is what everything revolves around. So next week or next month, we're going to be talking about how to write a chorus. The week after that, I'm going to be talking about how to write an intro. Week after that, I'm going to talk about how to write a verse and then an outro. And then we're going to go over how to record all of these. There's different methods, how to edit all of these. There's a lot of work that's going to go into this song. You're probably going to hear the finished product of the song well before these tutorials are done pumping out. But hard work yields results. And what you put into the song is what you're going to get out. So that's why I'm going so in depth with you guys. I think this tutorial series is going to be very eye-opening to some people on just how complicated it is to write a rap song the way that I write them, at least. And yeah, I'm looking forward to sharing more with you guys. So I hope you guys are excited. Hope you guys learned something from this. Maybe gave you some ideas on how to map a beat of your own. Yeah, you guys, I mean, you could even go find a beat right now and work along with me throughout all these tutorials, and I would love to hear what you come up with. So that's all I got for you guys this month. Thank you so much for supporting. I will be back with another tutorial at the end of February, since this is technically January's tutorial. And until then, man, it's been g.yee. Keep holding me down, Patreon peoples. I'm out.